But the other thing, how many of you saw the total blood moon super wolf blood eclipse? How many of you saw that? You know, I believe that God had that for a reason. He wanted everyone looking at that. He really did. And guess what? Those that were looking, an asteroid impacted the moon. On that very day, the equal to a ton of TNT, right here is where it was. It lit up. Oh, everybody saw it, and I think it was very fascinating that that happened on Tu B'Shavat. Now, let me ask you this. How many of you just this, I think it was last Thursday night, saw the red sky, the sunset? This is a picture that I was sent showing you of the ferry going over. I mean, that's about as red as can be. But how many of you knew the day that it happened was Shabbat 24, the same day the red horse vision rides? That's, yeah, the very day of the red horse. That is when the red sky was, which I think was kind of interesting. Okay, but aside from that, I want to talk a little bit about what I heard while I was in Texas. Okay? First off, let me show you these slides. Now, these slides weren't shown. I just put this together for all of us. Okay, let me bring this up so closer so I can see. All right, how many of you know the first picture there is Ayatollah Khomeini back in Jimmy Carter's day when he was a lot younger? Okay? Now, I also want you to notice that this was from a year ago, July 2018. And it says that Ayatollah Khomeini wants to leave a lasting legacy behind, and submitting to the U.S. cannot be part of it. Okay? The Ayatollah wants to leave a lasting legacy. Now, you notice down here, it says, a year ago, he was 79 and in poor health. He is now 80 and in poorer health. Okay? Here you have Ayatollah who believes he has met the Mahdi, who wants to leave a lasting legacy before he passes. Then we have the Hezbollah leader, Hassan Nasrallah, who is fighting cancer and has heart problems, who also wants to leave a lasting legacy. And here from Haaretz, we see the importance of Iran's involvement in Syria is rooted in Iran's vision of the Shiite apocalypse. Here we have these two guys who believe, according to Islamic theology, that it is up to them to bring their Messiah, the Mahdi, by starting a war with Israel. And the two leaders are both about to die, and they want to leave a lasting legacy, being the ones who bring in the Messiah. Okay, now, with that said, Hezbollah has all kinds of missiles and rockets, okay? Now, if you read this article over here, you don't have to read the whole thing. I'm just going to highlight some things. I want you to notice that it says that this is from the 2006 Lebanon War. They had a large stockpile of unguided dumb rockets, okay? And they fired about 4,000 over a 34-day conflict. But now they say they now have 130,000, which is wrong. The source that I have was they're at 250,000 rockets. Rather than they only had 15,000 back in 2006. Most of them were dumb. Now they have 250,000 rockets. And you can see they have them for land, attack, anti-tank, anti-ship, anti-air. They have all kinds of rockets. All right, now with that said, what this major in the IDF said, everything has changed. Everything's been turned on its head now. Because Israel does not have the luxury that they had in 2006 with the Iron Dome to bat a few rockets here and there of a bunch of dumb bombs, okay? But now they have 250,000, plus they have several thousand very precise smart bombs. And so because of this, and you'll read it in the news, and I may have it here, but Iran is now, they say they want to go instead of defense to offense. Israel also has stated they're going from defense to offense. Now, their concern in the past was civilian casualties. And they said they always had 24 to 48 hours to respond to anything, and they'd have that little knock-knock where they warn people, hey, we're going to bomb this building, please move. But what they said is that is off the table now. They have to respond so quickly, it's more like 24 to 48 seconds instead of 24 to 48 hours if Israel's going to survive. And now instead, as you know, in the past, when they would attack like the Syrian nuclear reactor, we don't know, how'd that happen? But now they're out in the open. They're bombing Syria during the day. It doesn't matter. They said that everything has changed over there in the Middle East where they now have to be, they said they will never go first because they do not want to be the ones to blame. But at the same time, they have to respond immediately. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you here, just a few weeks ago, Nasrallah and the Gaza leaders plot the disruptions of Israel's election, including rocket fire. So they met not too long ago, and they decided in the middle of March, they are going to start shooting missiles to disrupt the Israeli elections. That is what they said. Now, in this one news article, the head of Iran's National Security Council disclosed that precise rockets have passed into the hands of the resistance in Lebanon, Gaza, ready to respond to foolish actions. Okay, so here we see that they do have precise rockets. We know they have precise rockets. Israel knows they have precise rockets, which has really changed things over there. With things possibly happening in the middle of March, trying to disrupt the Israeli elections. Now, one of the things that he said, which also is not, everyone knows this, that is at least aware of what's going on. Here, this is a not too long ago newspaper article. U.S. officials warned of potential Hezbollah threat to the homeland here. As a matter of fact, Hezbollah has been active in America for decades. Decades. And most people have no idea that they've been here. So I'm not telling you anything secret. They've known Hezbollah has been here for a long time. Now, also I'm going to share with you, you may think, oh no, don't tell the terrorists. The terrorists already know this, okay? One of the main things that he said was, there are many hundreds of bridges across the Mississippi River, but a lot of them are footbridges or bridges that are no longer used, highway bridges, railroad bridges. But he said if they simply target 10 of the major bridges across the Mississippi River, be they train tracks or train tracks or highway, they'll literally be separating the East Coast from the West Coast with all traffic, and it wouldn't be hard with thousands of Hezbollah terrorists to blow up 10 bridges along the Mississippi River. But look at what Google does. Google Maps, they don't have to go take pictures. Everything is there. Anyone with Google can go look at the maps, look at the number of bridges, see the key ones. I mean, this is just open source news. But the concern that some people have is, and this is, how many of you know, our society always blames the victim. That's what they do. And so what I see potentially happening is Iran, through Hezbollah, Hamas, attack Israel. Israel responds, major casualties. And then what's going to happen? Then we're going to see here in the United States a lot of terrorist attacks here, and everyone's going to blame the Jews, because if the Jews hadn't have defended themselves, we wouldn't be attacked here. Do you follow the illogicalness? Okay. But anyway, so the main thing is I want us to pray. I mean, I'm not telling you this to cause fear in anybody. That's not the point. The point is that it's like stirring the pot. The mud is still underneath there. People like to pretend it's not there. So what I want to do is just bring things to the surface, but it's so we can pray. We don't want to not be aware. I would rather be aware and prepare and pray rather than stick my head in the sand and not realize when something happens. But anyway, so we need to be praying over the next several months in particular. Amen? Now, the next thing is this Sunday night, I'm going to be on Coast to Coast from 10 to midnight. So if you want to, tune in this Sunday night. We'll be talking about all kinds of things. And then again, April 25th through 28th is going to be the Prophetic Summit at Perry Stone's for his conference. And then June 1st through 3rd, I'll be in Columbia speaking there. And then I have some other exciting news. As most of you know, we have not only a 3 CD set, but a 3 DVD set about the Antichrist and New Revelations. Is anyone listening to those? Do you like them? Kind of fascinating. Okay, well, guess what? Concerning the book, we have a little trailer that Jill put together. It's only for like 1 minute and 10 seconds. But I want you to watch this trailer here. Kind of show you where we're at now.
The world is in chaos. Is the Antichrist about to step onto the stage of world history? How will you be able to recognize him when he arrives? Will he be a heathen? Will he be Jewish or a Muslim? Maybe even a proclaiming Christian? How about a human hybrid cyborg or an AI robot? Mark Biltz, author of Decoding the Antichrist and the End Times, exposes the nature of the Antichrist and his agenda of legalized lawlessness. Is evil being called good and good evil? Through AI technology and your social media, by analyzing your past and knowing the present, will the Antichrist be able to predict your future and manipulate the masses to dance to his tune? Will he be willing to divide the promised land in order to appease the nations? Discover the answers in Mark Biltz's new book, Decoding the Antichrist and the End Times, available for pre-sale now.
Now, what Charisma Publishing did, as you know, Charisma is the publisher, they decided what they wanted to do is everybody who pre-orders the book now gets the ebook free. So if you go to our website and you click on this, it takes you to the website where if you pre-order the book, you get the ebook free. And now for all those who've already pre-ordered the book and saying, what about me? You're going to get the ebook free as well. Okay? So everyone who's pre-ordered it, you will also get the free ebook as well. So I just wanted to let you know. All right. Yes. But you won't get it until the book is actually released on the 5th, right, that week. All right. So with that said, let's stand and let's pray. And we'll worship the Lord, and then we're going to come back to our lesson, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about artificial intelligence and the Antichrist and our surveillance society. That's what we'll be talking about.